So let's get this party started, Jason. How we doing today?
So good. So excited to talk about drones.
Yes, we titled this "Is This the End of Drones?" Which clearly it's not. That's just clickbait. But there's a lot of things going on in kind of like the wider world of wedding video, abroad, China, U.S. relations. Can you buy the new drone? I just got my Part 107 license last week, so drones have been on the mind, I would say, in the last week or two for us, and so we figured we could probably piece together a full episode about drones and talk about all the different topics ranging from usage in the wedding films, how to shoot on site, what people are doing, photographers in the space. Like, there's a lot of things going around right now, so we figured we would dive in and discuss a lot. So,
well, that kind of inspired us. We kind of slightly touched on it, but Mavic 4 Pro just got released or announced by DJI, and if you don't know, U.S. Congress has kind of been putting pressure on Chinese drone manufacturers, and so with this release, and maybe this has happened before. Like, I can't say this has never happened because I don't pay that much attention to it, but this one was like, for probably a lot of PR political reasons, was really pushed as like DJI saying no to America. They're not going to ship this, but they will ship it to Mexico and Canada.
Right.
And if you don't know, U.S. is in a little bit of a trade war with China right now.
Yep.
They also we've had in the U.S. a little bit legitimate concerns with Chinese flying air balloons over us and spying, and some of the, for safety reasons, the way drones have to operate is they have to tell geopositioning, and who knows, maybe they're broadcasting that signal all the way to your remote. So I don't think it's crazy, Jared, that the U.S. Congress and really countries around the world have to grapple with the idea that like these flying cameras with geopositioning are being sold to consumers around the world, and like, who knows?
Well, it's the same with TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with, I heard one story about, I think it was like a big transformer for like a power plant was sent over from China because everything's manufactured in China, right? And then when it got here, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security cut it open, and there was a lot of Chinese switches, whatever that means, malware or whatever it could be inside of it. And obviously there's games being played geopolitically, so it complicates our lives as wedding filmmakers because
Yes.
we're the trickle down, we're at the end of the line.
We're not here to litigate those things.
Yeah,
like, we're not saying like the US never does it and China's like, we're just saying like, hey, this is the reason why Congress is looking at drones.
Yep.
And they're not insane reasons.
Yep.
There's a level of truth, so I do have some understanding. But at the end of the day, Jared, we just want our drones.
Yeah, exactly. The new drone looks pretty cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't do some of the annoying things that the Mavic 3 does, like not recording the same exposure when you switch between lenses.
Yes. So let's read through some of the specs because I think it is a pretty cool idea. DJI, they're always inventing new stuff, kind of disruptors, I would say. What do you think of the 360 infinity gimbal that kind of does the spin moves?
I don't
Useful?
really. I probably will like it. And like the thing about anything, I'm never really thinking like, oh, I want a drone to do this. Like, and I've never thought I want a drone to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't like super excited, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what it is, Jared? And I think this is a camera thing, like across all camera equipment, is like when a new piece of equipment comes out that has a new capability, it becomes very overused very quickly. So whoever gets that drone first better be really good at doing that move, because after about a year, none of us will be allowed to do it.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of thing when the FPV drones came out. People are like, oh, I'm going to buy an FPV drone for my wedding film.
Because nobody has it, or
Well, sure,
thinks it's cool.
It's novel. It's a new piece of... But it's like, are we really doing it to make the wedding films better? Or are we doing it because we're just
Because we can.
gear whores?
Yeah.
Right? We're like, look at my new piece of gear. Like, we're wedding filmmakers. We're
Clearly
guilty of that more than
clearly
any
that is
other.
why we're doing it, though.
Yeah, right.
But it doesn't mean it's a bad idea, I guess is
Sure.
what I'm saying. Is like, it's okay that when something gives you a capability that you use it. I do think that will be abused.
Mhm. Sure.
And you will see people like flying into tiny barns in the middle of Oklahoma, forgetting that the exposure is not going to adjust properly, but really wanting to go spinning their gimbal head,
Corkscrew. Yeah.
or like smashing into like, I don't know, like hoopahs or whatever,
Yep.
trying to fly. Like just,
Yep.
I don't think that it's bad though. And the biggest thing I was looking at is like, hey, the lenses look great.
I think it's 16 stops of dynamic range, which in the past I have been like, man, that drone just looks really
It's pretty noisy.
noisy
at dusk.
and the edges are sharp looking, like, so it's like the iPhone, right?
Mhm.
The cameras keep on getting better and better gradually. This the new drone has 3 different cameras on it, which is kind of cool.
Same as the Mavic 3 though.
Medium
4 Pro.
tele, full tele, Hasselblad wide lens, which
Are they
that
different than the
Hasselblad-
3 Pro, the lenses?
You know what? I'm not sure. I would assume so. Yeah, because one of them is 6K 60, and I don't think the 3 Pro was 6K 60.
Well,
But in terms of focal length, I don't know.
yeah, so the Mavic 3 has a 24, a 70, and I think like a 120, I think.
The LiDAR sensor is also pretty interesting to me. There's a lot of cool LiDAR things happening with drones right now. That's kind of cool. It's not just optical. It's also kind of reading points.
Yeah, 166 is the other one on the Mini 3 Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So there's a lot of cool things. What do you think about the people that need to buy, the most recent drone every single time it comes out? Do you think that's necessary?
I mean, if you're Lindsey Conklin, but
I would say, yeah. If you're at
Yeah,
the top
like-
of the industry, you
like-
have to be the top of the industry, probably.
I'd say like people who are doing the best stuff. I mean, I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's just part of what you sign up for.
Will we get one?
I would think we would,
I would think we
but
won't.
not for like we always wait about a year.
Sure.
So like what I would get one when the inevitable day that my Mavic 3 Pro gets smashed.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Okay.
like I don't need one right now, so I'm not going to buy something I don't need.
Right.
I would much rather buy some new camera bodies. I'm excited about that. My point is like I have things I'd rather buy.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I don't
so,
feel obligated to go out and buy the latest drone, especially the price point in the UK or in the US due to tariffs right now.
well,
And you
also
can't
there's
even order it right now.
the way
You
that
can't
we
even get it.
fly,
Yeah.
like the way that we use the footage, like it's not a problem.
Mhm.
And this is what I'll say to people with gas. If you don't know what gas is, it means gear acquisition syndrome, and it's for people who just need to acquire more gear. First of all, stop doing that. It's bad. It's bad for your mental health. It's bad for your budget. Second of all, always ask yourself, like, do I need this? Do I need to buy this? And define need as an actual objective thing. Don't just think like, when somebody's like, remember when minimalism came out and it was like a big thing?
Marie Kondo.
No, Minimalist, the movie, The Minimalist.
Oh, no.
Your wife loved it. She loved Minimalist. Remember in the movie, those two guys, they're living minimalism lifestyle, throwing everything
Oh,
away.
yeah. It was like documentary.
Yeah. So it was a good
But
movie.
Marie Kondo was like,
Kind of that. But
That
now
wave,
she has,
yeah.
I think I saw that now she's older and has kids and she doesn't do any of that anymore.
Okay,
I saw an
love that.
article about it.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's like everybody was like going like this. I'm a minimalist. So that's why I have to buy that Louis Vuitton bag. Because like I have to buy quality.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy junk.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, but it's like, so you're going to buy a $4,000 bag rather than 10 bags for $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
But like in your mind, you've rationalized like this is a better decision for all these moral reasons or all these like green reasons or all these reasons. I don't have a problem with you buying a $4,000 bag. It's still a splurge.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
You don't need the bag.
Yep.
And just because it's high quality and good
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you should rationalize forcing yourself to do it. You should buy things that actually add to your bottom line, that solve problems. And yes, I think for many people, I don't think this drone is a ripoff. I think it's cool.
No.
I think it's interesting though, like that we're not going to get it. So back to the original point, like we will obviously get it, by the way, guys. Like we're not going to not get this drone. B&H already has it on pre-order.
Yep.
So they wouldn't do that if they were thinking like,
Oh, you're saying the U.S. is going to get it.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying us.
no, the
personally.
U.S.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
going to
yeah.
get it.
Okay.
Not whether or not I want it right away. Nah,
Sure.
not really.
Sure.
But we are going to get the drone as Americans
Yeah,
and
they
many.
just signed a trade or 90-day pause or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so.
many people who are out in the industry are going to buy it.
Yep.
Like if like for instance, you're just stepping up from like one of their smaller drones. Sure.
Yep.
It's great. Like it makes sense to me that you would, if you're shooting your 20 weddings a year, that's a great tool. But for 3-4 years, you can shoot with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, I think, really, is this going to be like the norm? Are we just going to like, how do they go about even solving this so that because like, what if they did say like, no, Chinese drones illegal? Like, what the heck would we do?
Yeah, right. I mean, I've asked Craig, who's our drone operator. I'm like, hey, what's the plan here? Like, I saw that the U.S. Congress wants to, potentially ban DJI drones. Like, are we still able to fly? Are they grandfathering all these drones in? They won't allow new ones in. There's a lot of question marks. I honestly don't think. I mean, our Congress is pretty stupid. Like, it's a bunch of like old 80-year-olds making these decisions.
I was listening to some of like that.
They're like
ugh.
Some of the stupidest people you could ever listen to talk about this specific anything technology, anything about the future. Like, you might as well just like bang your head against the wall over and over. It would feel better than
Did you ever
listening to
listen
these
to
people talk.
the congressional thing about algorithms?
Oh, dude. And how does Facebook make money? Like, how do you make money though? Like, sir, through ads, you idiot. Like, clearly. Anyways, so I just don't worry about it. Honestly,
I'm personally not.
because if there would be such pushback, like, you need drones in a million different industries. It's not just for wedding filmmaking, guys, believe it or not. People are using it for surveying. People are using it for heat signatures, for saving kids in the
Rescue.
woods. Like, there's a million different uses for it. It's not going away.
Yeah, it's an incredibly, and the problem is, and this is, I think this is a problem. We have no legitimate consumer-ready
US
American-based
yes.
company to solve the problem.
Right.
Which is a problem. Like, I don't like that. I'll admit that. As an American citizen, the fact that, like, we have a bunch of flying cameras, geolocating, mapping. Now they have LiDAR.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. They can map your whole topography.
They are.
And
As far as I'm concerned. Do you care
A
enough
little.
that you wouldn't buy one?
This is that age-old problem. If I thought that me not buying one would help everyone else to not buy one, and therefore none of us, we all dealt with not having drone footage,
Mhm.
yes. But I won't, because I know I'm the only person,
Exactly.
and then therefore I'm going to fall behind.
Yeah.
And so that's just being honest.
Yeah. You're
Like-
trying to hold up a wave and there's no movement to stop it, and people just don't care. Like, it's a competitive world. That is probably one of the downsides of capitalism. Like, you won't stop something
I would
like
say
this.
it's a downside of like neo-capitalism.
Yeah, sure.
Because in globalist capitalism is like, because if the market functioned properly,
Yeah.
this problem would produce an American company.
Sure.
And the fact that it's not producing an American company tells you that the incentive structure is jacked up.
This is the only way that there would actually be a feasible way for a U.S. company to make a commercial drone, right?
Well, like a commercial drone, by that we mean commercially available drone for consumers.
Yes. So,
'Cause there's actually a lot of drone companies that make, I would say I think all our military drones are made in the States.
right.
Most like drones that you're using for like a lot of commercial stuff are made in the States. I even think there's some drone companies that make drones like specifically for like large filmmaking
Mhm.
in the States, like
Possibly.
so like that whole like big old 35 mil cameras
Yep.
and huge lenses. Now I know DJI makes those too, but I think like that part of the industry is good. It's when you're talking mass production from facilities, like one-off products. We do great in the States.
Yep.
Once you say like we need a factory and we're going to make millions of these, we're like, eh.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I think
you just can't compete. It's impossible. So,
well, anyway, so I don't know. I think we both think it's not likely, but both of us. But I do acknowledge it's. We all as an industry should be aware, and not just like I want my drone, and also not just like being idealistically ridiculous and assuming that like we can just do anything about it. Like
Yep.
it's not our. We can't fix it.
I do think what's probably more likely when it comes to drones is that the FAA will start enforcing the Part 107. You know, if you want to fly, you have to enter your code, your ID. You already kind of have to do that, right? Like you have to enter, they want you to enter your ID into it. And if you don't do that, they just won't allow you to fly.
I don't think they will,
Why not?
because they don't care about the people flying. They care about the transmission ability and the fact that it's geolocating you, and the fact that like it's recording data. Like LiDAR is just numbers.
So you don't think they think it's a safety concern?
Not at all.
I think they do.
I think
when
when
it's
they
on,
first came out, they were about, but that's not what the current situation
I
is.
think it's opposite. I think it's they will care when it's reached a certain point of critical mass. Like when you have Amazon drones in the air, when you have all these things, they've set the groundwork for wedding filmmakers, commercial people, whatever.
Yeah. No,
But as soon as there's 100 drones flying overhead and you go outside and there's drones whipping above you,
anything
like
you can tax, they're going to tax too. So like that's just to me neither here nor there in terms of the current situation.
Sure.
Current situation is security, China. Now there's a whole other group of people. They already started, but I think the China thing derailed it and has become more of the focus. But when it first came out, it was like, how do we stop these drone people from droning?
Mhm.
Like that was our immediate instinct.
right.
How do we make this as hard as possible?
People shooting it out of the sky with a shotgun, like, hey, this drone is
I
a couple
mean,
houses
like,
down.
The average citizen, and we can talk about this, but the average citizen has no knowledge of the actual rules.
Right.
Like the amount of people who think, oh, this is my airspace
Mhm.
over my hotel or house. It's like, no, it isn't. Anyone can fly a drone and look into your window.
Right. Yeah. And so that's kind of what we're running up against when it comes to even the wedding industry. Right. And I think this is a relevant topic to kind of flesh out a little bit is, we this week got a document from probably one of the venues that's, I think they do the most weddings at the highest budget in all of New England. It was a document. It just said, hey, here are our rules and regulations, sign at the bottom. And one of them was explicitly no drone on property. Don't film drone at all. And so I called them and I was like, hey, we've always been told no drone. But when I really talk to people, they're like, well, we don't want guests to see it. If you launch it offsite, it's probably going to be okay. Okay, cool. We have that understanding. Cool. But I always like to check in because the turnover at these places is usually high. And I'd want them to make sure we're not like just, poking their eye when they see, hey, we filmed drone here. Even though I'm doing exactly what their team said. If there's a new team member who's in charge, they might be like, blacklist those guys. They don't listen to our rules, whatever. So I called and now they're like, you know what? No more drone.
So stupid. It doesn't even make any sense.
We don't want any drone on property. We have an inn, we have our hotel, and then we have the wedding venue. There's conflict there. Now, I don't think that's going to be common in most places. And also, I think we're kind of in a unique situation.
It's not enforceable.
We're
at
the
all.
only people who probably won't fly drone there because we have the relationship with them. We don't want them to think of it. But even still, we've had conflict. Even when we haven't been flying drone on this property, we've been blamed for it. And we're like, dude, we don't have a drone in the air. I'm here with you.
I'm holding this camera in
I'm holding this camera in the hand. It's not even on, like, we're not flying at all. And when we have flown, it's like way out over the
Well,
water.
and the venue
like,
will still
you know,
share the video we made with drone.
with
so.
drone, and yeah, they've never, pointed the finger at us, but
But the issue here is like it doesn't make any sense. So
it's impossible to enforce.
say I go like, okay,
It's not illegal.
I have a house down the road.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly drone, but don't turn my camera and see Castle Hill.
Right.
Or
right.
like, oh, I'm flying drone into
Well,
Newport and I passed Castle Hill and they're in the periphery. It's like
it's the same thing with like passing laws, like gun laws. Like, oh, you can only have 10 rounds in a magazine. Who is going to obey that? Only the people that obey the laws. No one else is going to obey it. If you're trying to commit crime, you're not going to obey those laws.
or a person, the
Like-
people who cause problems at that venue are people who shoot that venue once a year or once in their life.
Once in their life, they're like, what do I care? I'm
so
never
those
going to be
people are
back
still
here.
going to do that, and
They're
all they're
still gonna
doing,
get 'em.
all they're doing is hurting the locals.
All they're doing is hurting us,
That's all they're doing.
and they're ruining the experience, because what do they care? They'll do an FPV drone around Castle Hill, and then they'll whip away and no one will ever see it, and then they'll blame us. So it is silly, and I've kind of, it's an ongoing discussion, because I'm just like, yeah, we can do that. We're the only people who will listen to that, but we value the relationship, and it's all about communication at the
Yeah,
end of the day.
here's
so.
what I'll say. Then, like, nah, I'm not going to say that on a podcast, I guess. I'll say it this way.
But this is what we're running into. This is,
Yes.
and more venues are going to start doing this, the more prevalent drones become. Don't you think?
I think that artists are very weak-necked and also don't understand, and they tend to do stupid things unnecessarily, risky things. They break dumb rules, but then when they get pushed, when they actually have the upper hand, they never push the upper hand.
Mhm.
So it's like we kind of do it to ourselves, is my point. Like, we don't know the laws, we don't know how to communicate, and then when we do fly our drones, we smash it into things, we do stupid crap, we annoy guests, we do things that are dumb. We can't have nice things because of ourselves, how idiotic we are. And then when we get like people like us, nice boys like us, have to go and pay the price for some idiot who knowingly knew that there was no drone and flaunted it in front of the guy, and then the guy's yelling, like you mentioned, yelling at me while I'm trying to shoot, and I'm like, it's not mine, dude. And I remember another time, just a random drone was flying around.
Yeah.
And I'm getting yelled at by these people.
I remember
Like
last
some
year,
person was just flying a drone.
we were at another venue down on Cape Cod, that one of the nicer venues in Cape Cod. And I had specifically told the bride, like, hey, I usually don't like to film during the ceremony because it's loud. Maybe we can do the 7X zoom, go really high and point down if you want. She's like, no, don't worry about it. I really don't want a drone flying around during the ceremony because it's quiet and, understandably so. Great. Awesome. We're on the same page. I'm shooting the wedding. A drone is overhead. And I'm like, Craig, what are you doing, dude? We talked about this. He's like, dude, I'm down the street, like flying by the lighthouse. Like, I'm not anywhere near you.
Not
I'm
me.
looking up at this drone shooting the wedding that we're filming. And I'm like, I told the bride afterwards, I was like, just so you know, that was not our drone. Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't control it. Like, I'm sorry. I just wanted you to know. It's important to communicate those things because, like, especially when you expressly commit to not doing it. And, like, so a lot of you out there are ruining it for everyone else. I'll just say that.
Well, it's even the Part 107 thing. It's like you mentioned that poll. You did a poll.
Dude,
in
it's
the
like
group.
nobody has that license. Nobody does.
I bet on a high end in different markets, maybe 20%, but like
Maybe. The higher you get, the more prevalent it is, for sure.
But I would say like, yeah, and probably at the top of the market, most people would
Yeah.
because there's a lot of liability and
Yeah.
But
That
regardless,
test, by the way, is such BS, dude. It literally has nothing to do with what we do.
yes,
Nothing to
It's
do with
basically like if a seagull is flying near you, how many feet can you be to a seagull?
It's like-
Or can you land?
If 35s are flying in this area on the map and you see that, and I'm like, dude, I don't look at flight charts or maps. I look at the app, and the app will tell you where you can and can't fly anyways. It's like, just silly. They were like, what can we do? It's a bunch of like boomers who are like, well, we need to make sure the F-35 jets aren't flying into, like,
Why don't they?
what
Yeah.
are you talking about? Like, clearly never flown a drone. Don't know how
Well, it's
it
like,
operates.
so how many F-35s are flying over wedding venues?
Yeah, exactly. Over, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anywho, the fact that people don't do it, pretty much is why these things become issues. And
it's the classic, if a tree falls in the middle of the woods, does it make a sound? Like,
here's what I'll say.
There's no one around to regulate it, so doesn't it really exist? Yeah.
When I shot down in Sea Island, I can't think of anyone else has ever asked this. They were like, hey, we'll give you drone approval, but you have to show us your license.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sent them the license.
Yep.
And then they let me fly drone. I have no problem with that. That to me is what they should be doing.
Yes. Do it legally, and
just let us. We are flying commercial drone. You don't bring people on property that you think are going to go tape women changing.
Yeah.
Don't let what are you talking about? You have a vendors list.
And also, I'm fine to tell them, hey, we're going to be flying from here to here, so that they can have like a chart of like, hey, was that you filming the woman down at the pool? You creep. Like, there was a drone flying here to here, and then you can be like, no, here's my flight map. I wasn't even over there. Like, just everyone should be more educated on the subject.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, and that's the whole thing, is like the average person,
even if they want us to send them our flight path or whatever, like whatever we did here, just so you can see where we were, what we were doing. If anyone complains, it wasn't us. Like, that's where I'd much rather see the industry go, as opposed to like, don't fly ever in an area that it doesn't even matter and you can't enforce legally, and like, but
what I hope doesn't happen is, like, I don't think people should have a negative viewpoint towards drones. I think we need to, as an industry,
right?
Yeah, we as an industry need to do a better job being advocates for the tool.
Yeah.
And not doing idiotic stuff.
Yep.
And I don't mean like crash your drone or like I'm making a mistake. I mean just like flaunting rules and not paying attention, and even if they are really stupid, and that's the thing, like we don't have a power. We can't be like, oh, the powerful wedding filmmaking lobbyists are.
Mm-hmm. Do you think drone is being overused in wedding films?
I think in a way, yes.
Okay.
Don't you?
No, I don't think so.
I think this is what I'll say. A lot of people, it's easier to get, I think, in some ways it can be harder, but if you have a nice place that you're filming, it's easier to get good content with a drone than it is with almost any other tool.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's the only shot you can get that shows off the venue.
Yes, it is, but it's harder to do something that's actually unique and interesting because it's very limited. And so what I would say is I don't think it's overused in the fact that like it's in too many films, but like sometimes you watch a film and you're like, I can tell that you were way more excited about flying this drone than actually covering a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And you think this covers up the fact that the rest of your film is garbage and not thought out and not well shot, and you don't have much of a storytelling arc and your editing is weak or whatever issues, because you have these couple drone shots.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I mean. It's like,
sure.
I don't want to say that it's overused. Maybe that's the wrong way, but it is a bit of a crutch for a lot of people.
Should you use drone as the first shot in your wedding film?
Not according to Matt Johnson, but I actually think it's totally fine.
Me too. Me too.
I will say, like, if you release like 6 straight films and all of them start with the same drone shot,
mm-hmm.
maybe not that.
Mm.
Like, definitely, like, I think having variety to your own portfolio is important.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, that's the right shot and it's good,
yeah,
and it's the right shot.
Why do you think that's people's take? Don't use a drone shot as the first shot in your wedding film.
The same reason I talked about the spinning push shot that's about to happen everywhere. It's like when people know that this person is like, let me paint a picture. Guy is very mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at his work and you're like, maybe you think it's bad. Maybe you just don't even remember it. It's just very unremarkable. And then they get a drone. And then they're like, I am going to fly this drone and like every one of their films is so drone heavy, and I think it's just people get sick of that.
I just would think that people would never say that about a feature film, which almost all of them start with drones, like, or some form of aerial wide shot to bring people in somewhere. Like, that's just a storytelling element.
People just, it's such a like a. The problem with drones is there's no personality to drone footage. Like when you watch drone footage, rarely do you experience the shooting sensibilities of that shooter. So like if you look at like shooting on a gimbal or a handheld, and gimbal even less so.
Sure.
But the more like connected to the person the camera is, the more you see that person's sensibilities.
I know, but I just don't think.
But that's what it is.
The first shot, I don't want to know who the person is. I want you set up the setting,
that's just
then you dive deeper into your characters.
That's the opposite of how people think of wedding filmmaking, though, which is why they're saying that. Like they want to see like what's your special thing. And then you see the drone, and you're like, anyone could have flown that drone. We would have all shot the same drone shot, maybe, probably. Same settings,
sure.
Same lens choice. We all have one of 3 cameras that we're flying in the air.
Yep.
It's just very samey because it's very limited amount of tools that you can use to get that thing. It was like, I don't know, back when drum machines came out, there was an 808 and a few drum machines, and everyone had the same exact drum machine sound.
Yep.
And then people were like, no, we need a 909 and we need this, and all the new stuff started coming out. But for a while, people would go like, I'm sick of drum machines. I only want real drums. Now nobody thinks about that,
right?
Because there's so many,
and that's how drones will be.
Yes, there's like sure. If there was like a Canon drone and a Sony drone and a Nikon drone, and they all had distinct looks, distinct lens like attributes to them.
I'm sure people felt that way in like the 70s too, with like helicopter shots. Like you remember like The Shining came out. You remember that first shot in The Shining?
Yeah,
it's like over the mountains, you're following the car, but the whole point of the shot is like, this is how isolated they are. They're like out in the mountains, out in the woods, whatever. Like that's intentional.
What's funny about how crappy about a lot of those helicopter shots look? They'll be like this, like
it's so bad,
super shaky and like wicked, like you can see like just how like misty everything is, and so like you can barely see into the distance.
Yeah,
and it's so soft.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Yeah. Sound of Music's the same way. It starts with like going over the mountain. Like that was in the when was that film? Like the 50s. 60, like like I mean, it does tell a story. That whole movie is about being in Austria. Like that is the point.
I don't agree, by the way, with that perspective I reflected about people. Like I personally don't care, but I'm just saying like it's a natural reaction to limited options when a tool is like monolithic.
Yes.
And pretty much everyone is using a DJI drone, and everyone's stuff looks the same.
Yep.
So
So
which is a big, like if your entire point of your life is to try to distinguish yourself by shooting a wedding, that's gonna bother you.
Yeah. And also I do firmly believe in industry standards. Like I think the industry standard, I'm probably okay with it being an opening drone shot. And if someone has a problem with that, they're like, I don't want to do it because I want to do something unique. Cool. That's cool, but don't belittle people because they use an opening shot.
And also, like, you have to think of the customer.
Who cares?
Like, the customer loves that shot.
The customer loves it. Like, they're going to be like, in my film, I want an opening drone shot.
What is like the biggest thing? Is
it's
like,
great.
One of the only 2 topics that some rando person will talk to me about. They're like, what do you do? Oh, I do this. I film weddings and I shoot.
Do you have a drone?
You have a drone?
Yeah.
Do you fly a drone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have drones.
Yep.
Like, if I'm flying a drone, I was shooting last week in Boston. I was flying the drone around this building, and every one of the valet workers.
Yeah.
How fast does that go? How high does that go?
Dude.
Like they love it. It's like
it's amazing. It's been around for almost a decade.
Yes,
and people are still enthralled by drones.
They love them.
It's crazy to me.
One of my number one tricks I will do is try to fly a drone in front of the groomsmen.
Yeah.
Men love drones.
Yeah.
If you're at, I remember like that wedding we did with Carrie a couple years ago, the conservatory tent wedding. I was talking to that groom. He was a wicked nice guy, really. But then I'm like, take out my drone remote. And like the amount of
even
times,
like millionaire guys are like that can afford all this stuff. Like,
wow,
whoa.
Or they're like, I just got one.
Yeah.
like people love it. And
I
so
haven't
like,
flown it yet. I've had it for 6 months, but
is it easy? That people always be like, is it hard?
yeah.
And I'm like, no, a monkey can fly it. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's why people start with it, is because people like it.
Sure.
And it's like, should we not make things people like? I mean, get over yourself a little bit.
So, I mean, speaking of liking them, I mean, we kind of have a new type of person that's flying drones. Probably in the last year, I've really seen it take off. It's been around for a while, but photographers and drones, right? How are we dealing with photographers flying drones? Well, we're flying drones. Is that complicated?
I don't find it to be complicated, but it does need discussion. And if you, I mean, this is why the relationships are so important, because you don't want to smash into each other, which does happen.
That has happened. Engage last year.
But also, like for instance, a lot of times photographers will be like, can you get a shot for me so we don't have to both fly our drone up? And I'm like, sure, you want a DNG? How do you want it? And so like those are those opportunities to be a good partner. You can help. Sometimes they would like, I don't want to do two. Let's just fly one.
Yep.
Just get me, here's the 2 shots I would like. I will say, photographers, if you want me to fly drone for you, don't say whatever. Don't say anything is good. Tell me what you actually want me to do. But anyway, so I think that's one side, is you can collaborate. And
Sure.
But in general, I have seen, I've never had a conflict about it.
Yeah,
But
I don't.
It seems like you could have a conflict. It seems like actually,
we've had a few. Like last year, we shot one wedding again down on the Cape. The wedding with Kristen, and we had 3. There were 3. I remember looking up 3 drones in the air at one time. The photographer, us, and you. It was because Craig was there flying.
Yeah.
You were flying, kind of getting the shots that you wanted. And by the way, when we shoot, usually we're bringing like our, blue water type of drone where we can send it way out, like get the wide shots. And then we have our smaller drone that's not going to blow out the candles that we can throw inside of a tent. Or
I will try to fly the big one in the tent if I can, because it looks better. But
yeah, but
oftentimes the tents are not tall.
Yeah, the planners don't appreciate they're stationary going everywhere, and linens flying places. So, but those little drones can be a nice little tool for the inside. Craig texted me. He was like, "Hey, who's up in the air? Like, I'm getting all these notifications." Like, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's us. Sorry, man." Like, so
It wasn't us though that time.
he told me there were 2 other drones that he saw flying at any given time. So it was, a lot. So it could have been someone else. I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of air traffic now, and you can have content creators, photographers. Like planners nowadays will hire their own content people to come in. So there's florists even like having their own social media person. Like it's only a matter of time before they're flying. So there can be some, traffic jams when it comes to drones. I think what is more likely to happen on our end that I not necessarily see a problem with, but just the other day I was asked, hey, if our photographer is flying drone, the photographer is offering it for free, by the way, could they get a couple video shots and we could just add it to our film kind of thing? Because we charge for drone. I think it's something that we should be charging for. I know a lot of videographers will probably disagree with me because they just want to send up the drone, get a shot or 2 in between whatever session they're having and just kind of call it quits. I think it's an easy way that you can upsell. We made, I think, an extra $30,000 on it last year. And also we were able to pay a separate person to come fly, and like that provides
it's one way we control
opportunity for them.
The licensing on our end.
Yeah.
It's like we
do it legally. The thing I love about it,
because then I can hire a filmmaker who's not licensed, and like that's the issue, is like if somebody's shooting for you and then they also have to do drone, they're not legally allowed.
Right. But besides all the legal stuff, which is obvious, which I guess is not that obvious because no one has their license, but the liability side for us is important. But besides that, having a person who's on site for 1 to 2 hours to just fly drone gets you better drone shots.
Well, and better AGAN shots too. Because
Yeah.
like if you have to stop doing something, which is what with Huxley Film, like I typically fly the drone. And because of that, I don't do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're doing like a ceremony, we have our two main shooters doing what a lot of people would consider to be like the important shots
Yep.
for weddings. And I'm flying drone because I have a sense of like not annoying guests, but also being a little edgy, a little more daring,
Mm-hmm.
like in just not something I would trust everyone to make those kind of decisions
Right.
at those types of weddings.
Generally, I think our approach for our mid-tier company, and you know, if you aren't familiar, we have 3 different brands. For a mid-tier company, when we're flying drone, we're just getting settings. Maybe we're getting like cocktail hour, so we're putting people into the settings, enjoying, you know, drinks or whatever, in a beautiful setting kind of thing. That's kind of the intention. With Huxley, maybe we can be a little bit more intentional, like have it during the ceremony, have it during portrait sessions, have kind of specific cinematic type of shots that we're trying to get. And having a drone operator for that, I think is pretty nice. Like I can tell Craig now, be like, hey, they're going to be doing portraits. Maybe you could get a couple shots of them. We'll make sure we're out of the way. We'll coordinate together, so I can have my camera with them, not have to go back, pull open the backpack, pull open the drone. It's like he's already in the air. You can just be a lot faster.
It's just like it's such a great tool. And
It is.
like
And having a million drone shots, the catalog that we have now of drones, like we'll get 50 shots, drone shots at a wedding now. Like
I would
so
say
you have
like
so many
anytime
more
I do
choices.
destination, anytime I do multi-day, usually day 1 or 2 before the actual wedding day, I spend hours flying.
Mhm.
I go all around. If I'm on an island, I'm going to go to as many corners of the island as I can.
Yep.
I want to shoot as many iconic spots as I can. When we were in Sintra, we're like, let's go here, get this, go here, get like all the iconic stuff that we could get. And like before drones, there was no way to tell that story.
Right.
Like it was all just like you go into downtown, you shoot a sign that says Sintra.
Yep.
But
Now
you really
can, now
can't
you can
even
show the whole town.
Yeah, you can
That's it.
actually show like the iconic buildings or the way that you know buildings.
Is there a way to do modern day wedding filmmaking without a drone?
Sure, we do it all the time. You know, is it
At the high end.
no?
Yeah.
No way. Like, no, I shouldn't say no way. Like, I suppose there is a film that is very grounded where it would be a little weird to take that perspective like out of the film when the film is really like a certain handheld
It'd be like
voyeuristic.
Mark Brown, you know, 16 millimeter type film.
Yeah, or even just like a super interview driven handheld film. Like I suppose there's a type of film.
Sure.
But if you're to say I think for luxury, like true luxury, no. How could you like shoot big things without a drone?
Right.
Beautiful locations without a drone. Like you're going to tell me you're going to go to, and here's the thing we have to consider. Okay, Amanzoe. You go to Amanzoe in Greece, you shoot the Amanzoe. It's iconic, right? It's on the hill, top of the hill. It's a beautiful property. What if Amanzoe says no drones?
Mm-hmm.
Like the people who are making their living off those drone shots, they're just going to have a white wall. Because like when you're close up in a property like that, sometimes it doesn't even look that nice
Mm-hmm.
relatively to what it would look like in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think like that is when I said crutch earlier, that's what I think I am wrestling with is like, do we as an industry want to be so tied to a tool that is so easy to use? The barrier to entry is so low. Like any content creator can come and they might not be able to shoot the rest of your stuff, but like if you're like a person who doesn't shoot good wedding films and doesn't tell good stories, and all you're really doing is doing like property highlights,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to be like,
Yeah.
and then the content creator comes and they get the exact same drone shot.
Yeah.
Or worse, the property goes no drone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't even know how to make a good film anymore. So I think that's mainly what I meant by the crutch, and I do think that is, if there was one negative with drones besides the fact that we are naughty boys and we break the rules, I would say is it's such a good tool. It makes things too easy sometimes, and it can make people lazy.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, my hope with when we use a drone is that people don't even realize it's a drone. They're just like, that's pretty. Like that's your ideal, right? You're just
Yeah.
like, wow, look at the way that, the ceremony space kind of has that curved aisle. They're not thinking that was from a drone shot. Like when you see a wide shot of a venue, it's obvious like that's a drone shot. But using it a little bit more creatively, like and over time, I think people just be like, that's a cool shot. And that's the intention is like anything stands out. A thing stands out like FPV drone. I'm like, ugh. When I see it in a wedding film, I'm like, it stands out
There
so
are
much.
very few exceptions that I've been like, that's appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to deal with it in a way like anytime you're thinking about gear and you're not thinking about just what the storyteller's trying to tell, that's a bad thing. Right. So I think that's a little bit of that crutch too, is just like you're using a piece of gear just for the sake of using a piece of gear. It's not even a storytelling, tool at that point. It's just a tool. Right. So yeah, I think that's, kind of the, state of drones. A lot of things there. The photographer element is kind of interesting, not only with them asking you to get drone for them, which I don't really have a problem with because again, we have a separate person flying drone. I can afford to get a couple shots. The only problem is, when they want to get a specific photo and we want to get a specific video, maybe bride walking down the aisle, it's like I'm shooting video of that. You don't get to get a photo of that. Like I can't do both simultaneously. I did have a photographer reach out a couple weeks ago and say, hey, we're shooting a wedding together at this location. Can you get some photos for me while I'm in the air? And we were like, we're not hired to film drone that day. Sorry. Like, no, like we're not going to be there to do it because she didn't want to hire. But I sent her a referral for our drone guy
Well, what's funny about all that is like,
to do it. And he appreciated that.
when is a wedding filmmaker ever taken someone else's job?
Never.
But
Never.
everyone always takes our job.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, hey, can I have some shots? I'm not going to pay you for them. I got paid for them though.
Right. Right.
Like, but no, you can't make any money. I wouldn't even offer you money.
Right.
I'm just gonna. Oh, you're not a good partner. Okay, fine. What are you gonna do for me?
Well,
And that's the whole we're self-contained and everyone else needs us, and
Dude.
we never ever do anything.
it's just the food chain thing, man.
I know.
We're at the very bottom. Maybe you and like photo booth. Are
This
next
is
to
how
each
you
other.
know. This is but my point is, if you question, when I always say we are the lowest status vendor,
Yeah.
why I'm saying that is we are the vendor that no one treats like in a real way. Like there's no compensation or quid pro quo with the wedding filmmakers.
Mhm.
That's really authentic. Like if a wedding filmmaker does something, that person, like there's no real expectation you should do anything for them.
What can you do about that?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, no. So what you could do is just realize when a threat is there and don't enable the threat.
Mm-hmm.
So like, like if a social media company wants to take your footage and use it, and you're an editor, you maybe can say, "What are you doing with my footage?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna like take it and put it in like a timeline, and we're not gonna make anything. We're just gonna take it, put music to it, and put it
And then not tag
change
you
the
in
order.
it.
No, we'll tag you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We'll tag you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you like still can't.
Yeah.
I don't care if you tag me.
Yeah.
Like I can't be
Especially though, like especially if you use a song or use the footage in a way, I'm like, that's gross. Like,
Yeah. Well,
you're
exactly.
gonna use my footage that way, like, and then people are like, yeah, that's tacky and bad. Like, it reflects on you at the end of the day.
Trust
You're
me,
the filmmaker.
I know what's good. I am a social media expert.
No. Yeah. I've been doing this for at least 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So like my point is like a little bit to whine, but also to evaluate. Like
Yeah.
when you think about something being nice to people, I'm all about that. I really am to my own detriment. Like I always like I don't think you should have other people like restrict your ability to be kind and good.
Well, I think what you're uniquely good at is saying, hey guys, this isn't good because this is where this is going.
Yes.
And so generally it's, to your point earlier, it's hard to hold back the tide. It's impossible. But also like getting the word out there of like, hey, this is a bad thing. Probably most of us should be saying no to this, and seeing how people respond to it. I think that's a good thing.
I mean,
So,
even with content creators, like I'm like, that is what I do, but with the phone. Like person's walking around a gimbal shooting table shots.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more raw.
yeah.
You're like, it's not more raw.
I see that as less of a threat because they are just going to become us and we are going to become them, and there's going to be a melding in between.
It's a threat if they're a lot cheaper and they just don't need, like it.
I think they're already as expensive as the middle tier videographer.
Yeah, but not as expensive as us.
Not as expensive as us, but
It's not even that it's a threat. Like this is just like, if you're hearing this and you're thinking, I don't have a bone to pick with anybody. I'm more just like evaluating what's happening.
Right.
Like I'm just saying like, hey, listen, like we have to like know where is my bread buttered?
Yeah.
And where is your bread buttered?
The thing is, a lot of people don't see it that way. A lot of content creators, especially, they're like, "Oh no, I'm not taking your job."
That's how you know they are.
I'm not. I don't want your job. I don't want to be a videographer. And you're like, the tool doesn't make the profession. It's the output makes the profession.
Well, and also like if a relationship with a planner is like, I'm making really good content for them, and then they no longer need you anymore,
right?
And then they, then it's like that is a threat to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're releasing their reels instead of your reels now. Yep. So that's just facts.
Right.
Sorry. Like it's just like that is the thing. I don't care. People are always worried about content creators on site. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Like if you're in my way, I will just tell you to move.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with having a conversation with someone no one is going to ruin my shoot.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen.
Yep.
And I'm not saying they don't have the right to do this either. Like I have no control over them. I have no control over my partners or what's valuable to them. I'm not offended at them for making the decision. I'm just saying this is the truth. Like, and if you are ignorant to it, like you're going to be at a deficit. And, like I think that's the side of photographers flying drones. Content people are now flying drones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
it's all
so that's
melding.
what I'm saying is like, it's melding, and it's like the fact that like, yeah, well, I have a nicer camera on the ground, but if both of us have the same opening shot,
right,
it's the same hook,
right?
You know? And so it's one of those things where, it's not a complaint. It's just a thing that you should know about, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What are you going to do about it? But it is, I do think like the fact that you can't be quote unquote good at drone, like that's the truth. Like, yeah, you can be bad at drone, but there's like, it's very hard to be like uniquely, specially good at shooting drone shots. It's like when I did a push, I tilted a little smoother. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, yeah, like clearly you could be very bad, but I think you would be hard pressed a lot of times to tell the difference between like what I do and what Craig does and what Caleb does and what you do with a drone.
Yep. I think so too.
It's tough. Yeah. And I think that is not good for wedding filmmakers because you're saying we're uniquely expensive because we're special and we make a special thing, but to the human eye, to the customer, they're just like, well, this is $2,000 and you're $10,000, and they both have the same drone.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's kind of the same thing with cameras, though, too.
Like, well, except that they're using a phone.
Well, no. I'm saying videographer to videographer.
Oh, that's true. Videographer to videographer.
If you're doing like, the A7S, whatever the newest body is, like, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between people. The difference is in the editing, right?
But you still like the unifying thing is everyone using a camera, like a mirrorless camera, has to understand at least like the exposure triangle and composition and lens choices. Sure. And they have to be able to move quick, manage their battery. There's a lot that would be a barrier to entry for another person competing with you to shoot that wedding. I think less so now that content creators are there, but still a little bit. There's still things content creators can't do with their cell phones. If drone becomes a big deal, part of your film, then 20% of your film is just exactly the same as what the content person does.
Yep.
And it's reducing the distance between your products.
Yep.
And I think that is a thing that like not lack of competition in the drone space is producing. And also singularity of cameras, like who knows, like in 10 years, there might be just like 2 cameras and they all do everything.
Yeah. The good news about all this with advancement in equipment and gear and whatever, it does create that standardization, but it also makes it so that it's easier to break away from those things. I always feel like it's like expanding and contracting, right? Like there's almost feels like it's a contraction of like what everyone's work is looking like now. If you want to be, especially if you want to be in the luxury space, which everyone else bases on their look on what the luxury space looks like, it's a contraction. Even the people that are like avant-garde, different, like whatever, I want to do my own thing. When you start needing to make more money, you're like, I'm going to make compromises to make the wedding planner happy or make it look a lot more luxurious, the luxurious look. And then it kind of allows new people to come in and bring new style and energy and whatever. And it expands a little bit. And so I do think we're on a little bit of a contraction right now. Photographers have been that way forever. I think photographers now, I look at every photographer's work and I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
I'd say with planners too.
And planners too.
Florists.
Planners too.
Like,
yeah.
The whole industry, the internet has a natural knack to
copy, paste.
Yeah. Like humans are pattern recognition machines.
Yep.
Like it's the number, like when you have a child, it's the first thing you notice is how quickly they recognize patterns, and it's just built into us. And I think like the internet is a pattern creation machine, and I don't think humanity's properly grappled with the idea of like non-localized influences really creating we're susceptible to propaganda, we're susceptible to lazy creativity. Like everything is like funneling into one arena. And so, you're fighting battles with people that you're not even competing with in a capitalistic way.
Right.
Like it's like you're not actually competing over sales.
Competition
You're competing
of attention.
over attention.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Totally.
It's actually the amount of people's businesses that are all about like competing over something that has no monetary value for fear that it will have monetary value, which a FOMO driven economy is not a real economy.
Yeah.
Like, and I think if it was up to me, dude, we would go back and get rid of the internet and we would have just not even have it. like
blow it up.
It was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like this is tree of knowledge crap, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's like more knowledge, more suffering all the way down. Like it's bad. Like I like the internet. I'm not trying to sound like an old curmudgeon, but I'm just telling you, I grew up pre-internet and it was cooler.
Yeah.
The world was cooler. Like you would go like, what are we going to do on Saturday? Oh, let's go to the city and find new bands by going to the record store.
Right.
It was a whole day activity.
Yes.
Around your interests.
Yes.
And it was fun. Now, I think that would be fun. And then I go, it's so much easier to just look it up on my phone.
Sure.
And I'm not saying like, obviously we're not going back. I'm more just saying acknowledging the environment will help you at least evaluate, like with drones, for instance, like, am I doing this because I like it and because it's valuable to my clients? And am I being thoughtful? Like even something like you can shoot bad drone. Like just because you have a drone and you fly over the parking lot with the trash can in the background, you're using it wrong, but maybe you think like, I just have a drone and it's fine.
Yeah.
So like,
is it also okay to just use drone as a crutch at the end of the day? And just
it is
be like,
okay.
You know what?
Sure.
I know it's going to be awesome. I'm just going to fly it.
Yeah.
I have no problem with
also,
that.
like your client doesn't care. Like I think drone is a very complicated issue the more I think about it, because it produces a lot of problems for everyone involved in the whole world. Like, yet we all want it. And we're all trying to justify its existence. And it's really interesting to watch, because instead of like, we're willing, like imagine all the worst case scenarios happening, that literally every shot you shoot is being directly transmitted to some military base in China. And they're planning an attack on us using all our data to map America's infrastructure.
Newport, Rhode Island is a goner.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, imagine that's happening. If you were to convince all wedding filmmakers in America that this is true, they would still fly their drones.
Yes. Yep.
And I think that tells you something about the nature of the internet economy. for like the fear people have of not being relevant. Like people do not think about economics or safety. They only think about reputation now.
They're self-interested.
Kind of, but not really, because they could like
well, they don't think actively like flying drone will kill my family,
or that it's actually not making me any money.
Sure.
Like they have no data that says it is making them money, but they're afraid that it might not make them money, so then they don't do it. And I think most of the wedding creative industry is that, all the way up and down. Well, I know I'm getting taken advantage of by these people, but I'm going to do this, or I know this, or I know, like the amount of times we do things that are actually working against us just because we're afraid.
Yeah.
And it's like, it shows the reality of that, like, pressure that's on us because of the internet. And I don't know, not that this is on topic, but I do wish we could be free from that chokehold.
Yep.
Because it's hurting our creativity and it's hurting our storytelling.
Well, this has been Cultural Psychology with the Wedding Film School team. Cultural reflection. Hopefully you've taken something away from this, even if it's just entertainment, and been able to apply it.
I didn't really offer very good solutions.
Well, I do think we're at a crux of like how we're using this tool, and it's interesting. It's fun.
Well,
Everyone
and also
loves
like
drones,
I'm
like
not.
you said.
There's no judgment because all of us are in the same.
Yep.
Position.
Yep. Make sure you guys are following us on Facebook. Is a great place to interact with the community. Follow our YouTube channel, Wedding Film School, as well as the Wedding Film School Show YouTube channel, 2 different channels. Wedding Film 101. Is that out right now, Jay? Can people find that?
I guess technically they can find it. I still am like finishing I would think when this episode is released,
No, it's not up right now. So maybe it's up in a couple weeks. Wedding Film 101 is the name of it. That's how they can find it.
It'll actually be released within the next 10 days.
Okay, so. Great. Wedding Film 101 for you newbies who want to learn wedding film.
We have a
basics.
video about drone on there just right now. It's like drone do's and don'ts. Go check it out.
Very cool. Anyways, I think that's it, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week here on the Wedding Film School Show.